silent, its windows blackened with grime, and the air smelled musty, as though the house had been abandoned for years. Sarah hesitated, but decided to enter. She remembered the stories her grandmother used to tell her about the house, about the whispers that filled the hallways at night and the figures that could be seen moving behind the curtains. Sarah laughed it off as just her grandmother's eccentric imagination, but tonight, something felt different. Inside, the house was colder than she expected. The walls were adorned with faded photographs of ancestors Sarah had never met, their eyes strangely watchful. She walked through the living room, her footsteps echoing, and found herself drawn toward the staircase at the far end of the hall. As she reached the top, a soft whisper seemed to brush against her ear, but when she spun around, no one was there. Chills ran down her spine. She tried to shake off the feeling, thinking it was just the wind or her imagination, but the whispering continued, so faint, yet unmistakable. It seemed to be coming from the end of the dark hallway. Sarah hesitated, but something inside her pushed her forward. She reached the door at the end of the hallway and slowly turned the knob. The door creaked open to reveal her grandmother's old bedroom, exactly as it had been when Sarah was a child, with the same floral-patterned curtains, the same rocking chair by the window. But there was something else now, a shadow in the corner of the room just beyond the bed. "Grandmother?" Sarah whispered, but no answer came. The shadow seemed to shift, stretching unnaturally, and then she heard it, a voice deep and rasping, coming from the corner. "Get out!" Frozen, Sarah stood still. The shadow moved again, growing larger. Her grandmother had always warned her about the house, about the things that lived within its walls. But Sarah had never believed her. The whispering grew louder, now all around her, calling her name, urging her to leave. But it was too late. As Sarah turned to run, the door slammed shut, trapping her inside. The whispering voices merged into a deafening roar, and in the corner of the room, the shadow began to take form, becoming more solid, more real. With a sudden, terrible force, the figure lunged at her. The last thing Sarah heard was her grandmother's voice, distant but clear, warning her one final time. "Some things never leave. They just wait for you to come back." And then there was silence. The house stood empty once more, its windows dark, waiting for the next visitor to hear the whispering shadows.